Hello, my name is Tatyana Prykhodko. I'm instructor in Ukrainian Federation of Yoga in Berlin. Also, I'm Sanskritologist in the project Sanskrit in Ukraine and co-founder of that project. In that project, we are translating ancient texts from Sanskrit to Ukrainian to Russian and I hope to English soon. Also, in that project, we teach Sanskrit. First time I gave this lecture in 2019 in Kharkiv, but I think it's still topical and still needed because yoga becomes more popular around the globe and more people every year need to understand, to know the name of asanas. The goal of my lecture is to help to remember the names of asanas. If we want to remember something, we need to understand how our memory works. Our memory is quite demanding. First, it demands to understand the new things which we heard or saw. If we do not understand it, we cannot remember it. Second, it demands a connection between new information or new object and with something which is already known. And third, it demands to use the new information. For that, we will have exercises to use it right now when you listen in the lecture or right after it. And we will start with the word asana itself. In Sanskrit lexicon, the word asana means not only pose of yoga and mostly even not the pose of yoga or yoga exercise. Mostly it means sitting as a process or chair, sitting as an item for sitting. Also it means posture including sex position. That is the example I met in Rati Manjari text, which is translated on our site. Also asana could mean throne or even official position. This is on the one hand. And on the other hand, there are more words to express the meaning of yoga position or yoga exercise in Sanskrit. So to write about yoga position in Sanskrit, there are more words than just one asana. In that meaning, you can meet the word pitham, also sitting and the item for sitting, mudra, which means seal, kriya, which means doing, and vyayama, their exercise. Pitham we can see in Hatha Yoga Pradipika and in other sources. The word mudra we met in Shandilya Upanishad and not only, also in other sources. And that mudra, it's interesting why the seal means position. Because when you take some static position, you need to hold this shape of the body like a seal. And Vyayama was brought by the Gheranda Brahmachari in his book Yoga Sukshma Vyayama. This is youngest from all of them. But from all the synonyms, asana become more popular. Further, we will see two pictures from 18th century. On one side you can see, I will read for you the word mudra. It is to the left, Mulabandha mudra, and to the right is Siddhasana. So we, in one style, in the picture of one author, we can meet both words, mudra and asana, for the name of yoga position. And further, we will see several slides with quotes from Hatha Yoga sources. First is Shandilya Upanishad. I will read it. Swastika Gamukha Padmavira Simha Bhadra Mukta Mayura Akyanya Sanani Ashtao. The translation is Swastika Gamukha Padmavira Simha Bhadra Mukta Mayura. These are the names of 8 asanas. Here you can see names of the asanas without word asana. So even that could be. And next quote is from Sharada Tilaka Tantra. Padmasanam svastikyam vajram bhadrasanam tatha Virasanam iti proktam, kromad asanam panchakam. In that text we can see only 5 asanas, which is interesting. Only a small part of the whole text describe asanas, not more than 10% of the text, and it's only 5 exercises. In the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, we can see more. We can see there are 15 asanas. Some include the word asana, some don't, and some include the word pitha. In one text, we can see these 3 type of describing asana. In that quote, I underlined the place where the name of asana and the word asana connected. When we divide a long name into 2 parts, it will be easy to remember and easy to read it. That is why we need to define the parts of asana's name. And the last quote is from Gheranda Sanhita. The text is from the 17th century. Here you can see already 32 names of yoga position. I mentioned the number of asana to show you how the quantity of asanas grew through the text of Hatha Yoga tradition from 5 to 32 within several centuries. So, let's get to know some yoga asana names better. From the grammatical point of view, a long asana name is a compound. It is part of a speech. We use compound to describe a word which consists of several parts. English also has such words like toothpaste, alphabet, football, etc. In asana names, the first part is about the form, the shape of the pose or action in it. Last part of asana name is word to mention position. When we split a compound into 2 parts, it is easy to understand and to remember and easy to remember it. When we explore the first part of asana name, we can see the principle of its creation. I went through 100 asana names and described 4 topical senses for the first part of the asana name. So the first part of asana name can be a word which describe a form of the body, the shape of the body, what the body looks like in asana. For example, when we do trikona asana, triangle pose, our body looks like a triangle. The first part of asana names can also mean an action in the pose. For example, Paschimottanasana means back stretching, and it is what you will feel in that asana. Or it could mean an instruction of how the asana should be done. For example, Padahastasana, which means connection between hand and foot, and it is what we do in that position. The first part of asana name can be the name of the famous person, as we can see in Matsyendrasana and Hanuman asana. And here is Bhujangasana, in which the body looks like a serpent. And next one is Ashtanga Namaskara Asana, the 8 limb salutation pose. We make salutation with 8 part of the body. Further, there are exercises with some asana names. First of all, we will read a glossary. Words in this glossary are divided into topics: animals, scenes, part of the body, numbers, actions. I suggest you to read that glossary and then we are doing the exercise with it. You need to read it in voice. I will do it for you and then you can repeat. 1. Eka. 2. Dvi. 3. Tri. 4. Chatur. 5. Pancha. 8. Ashta. Camel. Ushtra. pigeon, kapota, crane, baka, snake, bhujanga, cat, marjari, rooster, kukutta, turtle, kurma, fish, matsya, dog, shvana, cow, go, lion, simha, peacock, mayura. Next is parts of the body. Body itself, anga. Also the part of the body is anga. Knee, janu. Face, mukha. Leg, pada. Back, paschima. Hand, hasta. Head, shirsha. Next, objects. Onion, dhanur, corner, kona, board, nava, lotus, padma, mountain, parvata, plow, hala, wheel, chakra, and direction, states of action, actions. Down, adha, half, ardha, happiness, bahadra, diamond, vajra, hero, veera, greetings, namaskara and pranayama. Stretching, prasarana, all, sarva, comfort, sukha, up, urdhva, traction, uttana. Let me show you how to do the first exercise. We have a posture with long name, Ekapada Prasaranasana. We need to split it first into two parts. The word asana itself and the name of asana, Ekapada Prasarana. And the first part is what remind. We also need to split for different words. It's already split by me, but in the real life we need to do it, try to do it with glossary. It's better to start from the beginning and find the first word. We will read the first syllables, not more than two for that. And then we should find the similar word in the glossary. So here is eka, and we go to the glossary and looking for eka, eka, eka. Here in numbers we see eka is 1. Second word is pada, second two syllables. Pada, pada. Here, pada, leg, eka, pada. What is next? Pra. We will not find anything with pra. Prasa, also not. Prasarana, prasarana. It can be found in actions. Prasarana means stretching. So literally we will translate this asana name as one leg stretching pose, which we may modify into pose with one leg extended. There are few slides with asanas, which I suggest you translate using the glossary. You can download the glossary and the whole presentation with the link in the description. And if you like this exercise, here a slide with 30 asana names to translate. The second exercise I invented for those who love to pose for pictures in asanas. When your first translation are done and you know with which animal or item the asana name is connected, you can make such a kind of collage. That exercise is also an effective way to remember the new words. Some examples: Chakrasana, the wheel pose; Kukuttasana, the rooster pose; Padmasana, the lotus pose; Kapotasana, the pigeon pose. The third exercise is to translate some asana names from English into Sanskrit using my glossary. Now you see 9 asana names in the left column, and it's just English asana names. But in the right column there are the same names with Sanskrit word order. So you need to find the right words and put it in the Sanskrit word order, and you will have the Sanskrit names of these asanas. I will have an example. The posture, triangle pose, the pose of triangle, and here the Sanskrit word order is three-angle posture, three-angle position. We need to find three is three, angle is kona, and position we know asana, or we can use pitha. And we will have three konasana or three kona pitha. The fourth exercise is with an asterisk. It is about the formation of the words in the glossary. Each word in the glossary we can split into atomic parts of the words. I mean roots and suffixes. But to do it, we should know them. This knowledge is common for Sanskrit learners. For someone who does not study this ancient language, I will show several examples. It will be examples of how to split words. Here we can see the formation of word asana. It is formed by the ana suffix from the root as. The English equivalent of that suffix is ing. So the formation of the word asana is quite similar of the formation of the word sitting. As, the root as means to sit, and the affix ana means ing. Here we can see the word bandha, which in yoga means breath exercise, and in normal Sanskrit lexicon it means lock. It derives from the root bandh, to lock, by suffix a. Equivalent in English of this root is to bend, and the word bend derives from this ancient Sanskrit root. And here's compound pranayama. Do you remember? A compound is a word which consists of several words. It consists of two words, prana and ayama. Word prana consists of the prefix pra, which means much, and the root an, which means to breathe. The whole prana is full breath. In the word ayama, there is prefix long a, which means finished action, and the root yam, to control. The full meaning of the word ayama is full control, and the full meaning of the pranayama, the full control of the breath. And several more words with its formation. Here the ushtrasana and the word ushtra. It is formed by the root ush, to heat, and by the suffix tra, instrument or place of the root. So camel is one whose place is heat. Or marjaryasana, which derive from the root marij, to wash face. So Marjorie is someone who cleans his own face always. As the fifth exercise, I suggest creating asana names from the glossary. So we translate from one side to other side. We translated from English to Sanskrit, from Sanskrit to English, and now you even can create some shape of the body and try to name it with words from glossary. Or you can first take some words connected together, and then you can try to do that as asana, as position. I made it like that with picture also. Sixth exercise. It is remembrance. Try to remember something new about the names of the asana from my lecture. Something new about Sanskrit. some new Sanskrit words. Maybe you can even remember some exercise for memory. Also, you can try to remember new asanas, like a picture. You can put 5 to 10 minutes for that with pause in the video, and it also will help you to remember. If you send me what you have done, I will check it. And if there are some mistakes, you can make work with mistakes later. That is all. Feel free to ask me more questions about Sanskrit and connection between Sanskrit and yoga. Here is my contact name in Telegram and also the name of our project library in yoga, where we share the information about yoga from ancient texts to modern researches. Have a nice journey into Sanskrit and yoga. Bye.